Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Well, guys, nothing really changed from yesterday. The market is sort of held, like froze before some maybe strong move, but again, from yesterday or even 2 days ago, nothing dramatic, just sideways trading, no big news. Well, there is New Year's soon and the holidays, and people basically don't do much of the trading, and even bears are sleeping, both bears and bulls. We'll see. But still, I want to make this update and show like a couple of the share a couple of the thoughts about the general things and the short terms. So major one, I just wanted to show this huge drop chart, and you see that in principle somewhere around the bottom, from the bottom to 4,400 or something like that, we have a huge area of the trading with a bigger liquidity, with a bigger volatility and a bigger liquidity. And in principle, we can look at this from two perspectives. First, well, of course, in general, this must be in the accumulation, and the question is whether it is accumulation in of the short positions or long positions. And when we looked at the $6,000 area, 6,000 plus, we thought that if it would go down, it was very likely to be accumulation in the for the longs. But if it was accumulation for the shorts, then it would bring the market very low, and the length of the sort of the duration of the staying at the low area would be relatively, well, it would be much longer than everybody would want to. And for the whales, they don't want to put their money in the high risky assets such as cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, for a long period of time. They want to make it as quick as possible for the profit. So, but still, we dropped, and well, we can treat it as an attempt to make a short-term profits when they will just dump the price and then make the price go high again. But there's still the same situation we may apply to this another range. So if they are trying to accumulate short positions, if they don't have enough short here, then that would mean that eventually short position will lead to something like $1,000 or $1,000 plus for the new bottom, because this is long, relatively long, and the volume was rather high compared to all the previous time. So it is really likely to happen. But since I'm bullish on Bitcoin, on crypto in general, in long term, I would want to think that it's about time after such a long bear market to finally change the trend. And in that case, this accumulation in the for the long positions would make perfect sense, because we had we had a very long bear period in the market. We had a huge drop. We had a sort of the bottoming, you could call it, and even pretty much V-shape like behavior if you look at the daily chart. So something like this. It's really like V-shape. It depends on how we will call it this, but still it's rather sharp rise after the bottom, and now consolidation, and we can go up from that point. So I would want to hope to think that it's actually accumulating the Bitcoin before going up. So, and finally, this is another zone here, which you can look at for the recent days, maybe a few days, almost a week actually, and this was actually rather long. It's basically the same half of the whole trading from the bottom. And again, this you may think about this zone the same way as we looked at the bigger zone. So whether this accumulation before going up or down. So in my opinion, it would be more reasonable to go up. And if you refer to previous video when we looked at the total capitalization of altcoins, which is still above the wedge, which is showing some rising trend. When you look at the Tether price, when we saw this steps going up, and in general the rise of the price of Tether, and in principle we were about to go higher if you look at the historical patterns, even earlier than now, but we are still here, so probably it's time to actually do this move. And also if you look at the third thing, which is the inverse head and shoulders, and which playing out pretty well so far, we're still about to move this price to the neckline a little bit again before the before the major rise. And as soon as the right shoulder wasn't broken, this level of right shoulder wasn't broken, it's still quite valid. So I would think that taking account all of that, we are in a pretty much good position. And if this is the accumulation of the longs, then such a long one would lead to a significant rise already, like at least to the previous highs, and probably higher. And you can see that first there is, in the short term, there is this channel which we broke once, broke second times, down and up. It's sort of a classic behavior of the trading in such channels. And now we're approaching to the top of the channel, and also you can see that the price is bouncing between the moving averages on the 1 hour chart. So it's very likely that we'll see some move within like a couple of days. And also this sort of a triangle, still the range of the price is becoming narrower and narrower. So we will likely to see some strong move over the price probably within a couple of days, I think. And I personally would want to think that we'll be going up because of those reasons which I just listed. But yeah, we can make another leg down just because of the previous stop orders collections was here and then at the top. So next one presumably, well, more likely to be in the bottom, but there is like two different struggling sentiments, two different struggling opinion in the market, and just who will be stronger, which would be more profitable for the minority of those who are trading, and the most wealthy ones. So we'll see. I'm still bullish, and I see that most of the altcoins which I look at are going up, despite the total capitalization of the alts is sort of a trading sideways. But it seems like probably the more and more capital comes from Tether, and more capital comes from the small altcoins. So there is a redistribution of the capital within the altcoins themselves. So anyway, this is sort of nothing changed video today, but yeah, it's my daily job to do those, despite it's nothing. But the last thing which I was going to mention regarding the sort of a calm period here in the market is this one. There would be January 3rd. On January 3rd, there will be support of the some sort of action, or I wouldn't say this is action. This is sort of the movement of a lot of people who are owing Bitcoin. So they want to extract their Bitcoins from the exchanges, from the third parties, to be able to manage them by themselves, to have the private keys and so on. And this must happen on 3rd of January, or at least before. On 3rd of January, many people can do that. At some point, it's sort of a sign of independence of Bitcoin holders, etc. But still, this is the thing which may move the market one way or another. And I would say more likely to be moved market down. And the reason is the less Bitcoin will be on exchange, the less volatility, the less liquidity will be there, and it means that the market will be thin, it will be easier to move it. Also the transactions, such as like if a lot of people will make this move, the withdrawals from the exchanges of Bitcoin, they will load the blockchain a lot, and the transactions will not pass, and it will be leading to some sort of I wouldn't say panics or chaos, but people will worry, and it is more bearish sign than bullish. So, but don't panic, guys. Follow your own plan, and don't forget to set your stop orders if you have any trades. Anyway, in general, things are the same, but I would expect to see something nice in the next few days, and in general 2019. So today is the last video in this year. I wish you a great 2019 with a much better profit than we had in 2018, because it mostly losses because of the bear market, extended one. So we made 1 year basically. So hopefully we will see some much more optimistic things happening next year. Okay, guys, so thank you for being with me, and it was still a great time. Hope to see you tomorrow and in 365 videos next year. Goodbye.